From the deep, dark reaches of Star Trek Online comes Nikodas and Grebog with another episode of Fleet Action Report.
Hello, and welcome to Fleet Action Report, the show where we don't just play the game, but we teach you how to play the game. I'm Nikodas.
I'm still Grebog. Yeah, I'm here again, like I'm supposed to be with my phone making noises, as I do.
You got a coin.
I got a coin. This is episode 131, Adventure Time in Adventure Zones. So, yes, fun times.
Yeah, this is my fault, guys. This was all my doing.
It's all your fault.
It is. It is my fault. No guests today, at least not at the moment. I don't know if we're going to pick any up later or not. So yeah, let's do this in the order it's written down. So Grebog, how has your week been?
My week, it has been swell. That's not being sarcastic. I guess there is one sarcasm to that point. With WoW, we're doing quite well with my raid team. On normal mode, we are all the way up to the final boss in the first raid. Well, yeah, which is the only thing out right now, the first raid. So we are doing quite well, and so with that comes obviously loot. By getting that far, and if you don't know, they changed the loot system in WoW, and because of they didn't make it clear how it fully works. Blizzard, they just threw it at us, and there are many people that are basically getting angsty. I call them grumps. Loot grumps is what I've started calling them, because they're getting grumpy about the way the loot's getting handled. The way the system currently works is it's a need-greed system. However, whatever you have your loot specialization set to is your main spec. The other 2 specs, or maybe 3 specs for your class if you have a class that has 3 specs. I guess 4 specs and you have 3 off specs. Druids. But
Druids.
The ones that are not set as your primary loot spec are your off spec. So when you roll need against somebody else, so let's say a feral druid rolls against on an agility piece against let's say a boomkin, and it will go to the feral druid, the agility piece, over to the boomkin because it puts the main spec priority over the off spec priority, or your off specs. So you still have a chance to get it, say off spec. It's just if any main spec people roll, they once their random number generator goes and kicks out their numbers, they obviously get the first pick. Which makes sense. Unfortunately, not a lot of people understand that. So people just think people are willy-nilly rolling need and taking loot that they could use that is just going to sit in their bags until they change a spec. So that's been going on for 3 weeks. Because, like I said, Blizzard did not make it clear on how that works. Outside of that, I've been playing... I've been kind of, like I said last week, kind of been chilling a little on STO, because I know we're going to get into but I turned that off. We're going to get into another wave of events, and we don't have an event right now, so I've been taking advantage of that, and just been chilling. I log in daily still. I make sure things are going well, and then I do a bare minimum, I guess. But I'm not like grinding gear. I'm not going out farming kills for for the KDF recruit or something like that. That's a lot of my week has been WoW. I can't think of anything else. Yeah, a lot of my week's been WoW. What have you been up to, and how have you been?
Only a little of my week has been WoW, although I did finally finish working on the battle pet leveling guide that my wife and I have written together. I shared it with AIE, but it's open to the public. I should probably put it on our website somewhere or on our Discord channel somewhere, just so our people have access to it too. But yeah, Battle Pet Leveling Guide. It basically uses all of the trainers that you can fight on the various pathways. It's like Pokemon, uses them to level battle pets, and I've got a pathway set up that takes you to several of them. It hits all of them that gives package rewards. So, it gives you a backpack that you can open up or a bag you can open up. I hit all of them, and there's a few fillers here and there just so I could get more experience on the pets. But in total, it levels 7 pets and can take a couple hours. And of course, I've got it broken down into different sections by the pet that you're on. So you don't have to run the whole thing from beginning to end. Like if you just wanted to go to Pandaria and level the 4 pets that get leveled in Pandaria, you can do that. But it's this whole thing that I put together a long time ago and updated when I came back to the game. So that's a thing. Pokemon and WoW. I don't have any excuse for why I find it so fun. I just do. Anyway.
I mean, got to catch them all.
Yeah. Well, I'm about half at this point. At one point in time, I was actually within the top 30 pet battle players in our area. The Eastern U.S. I think that's what we're considered. That is not the case anymore. I am significantly farther down that list than I was. I don't know what to say to that. I only have about half of the pets that are in the game right now, but most of what I do have been upgraded to rare quality and have been leveled to 25. So take that as you will. Anyway, outside of that, I have been playing Baldur's Gate 3 a little bit. No, the game is not officially out yet. But they did just recently add the Paladin class, and so I've been playing around on a Paladin because, why not? When the game actually releases, I will probably not play a Paladin. They've added a weird mechanic into it where you can break your oath, and then you have to decide if you want to become an Oathbreaker Paladin or if you want to try and get your oath back. To get your oath back, all you have to do is pay money. But it's a lot of money. It's 2,000 gold, which in that game is a lot. And so far, I have broken my oath twice. And, it doesn't give you any warning. It doesn't give you the option of not breaking your oath. It's just, in one case, I got attacked by a dude, and I defended myself and killed him, and when he died, I broke my oath. I'm like, I don't know how I broke my oath when the dude attacked me. That makes no sense. And then I had to go pay 2,000 gold to get my oath back. I don't even know when I broke it the second time. I just looked down at the character sheet one day and it said I was an Oathbreaker again. And I'm like, no, I'm not. So I've paid 4,000 gold so far to get my oath back. So yeah, that's a mechanic that it's a headache I don't want to deal with. So when the game actually releases, I think I'm going straight fighter. I just don't want the headache. Or Monk, if they ever release Monk, that could be fun. But right now it's fighter. that was a lot about 2 games that I've played.
Stop breaking your oath.
I wish it would give you a warning, this action will break your oath, or a means of avoiding it instead of just saying, oh, you broke it. Especially when it's a situation like the guy attacked me. And I totally accept the fact that they just added Paladin to the game, and this may be a glitch. How often it's getting broken could be something that they'll fix later on, before the actual release. It's still in alpha right now, so I get it. But if that things don't change, there's no way I'm playing a Paladin. The only other thing I've done is I've been dinking around on Vatara here in STO, and I have also kind of been taking it easy. I'm just working on missions that she needs to get caught up on. Currently, I'm working on the Future Proof. I lied. New Frontiers, which is the Lukari, where you travel around with the Lukari in their new ship and kind of help them rediscover their own people. And in the background, you also have the war with the Tzenkethi going on, where they're bombing worlds, into nothingness. So that's kind of been fun with not having the pressure and just being able to play around. And that's it for my week. Before we get into STO's week, Grebog has an announcement to make. Here's the mic.
How'd you get a hold of my mic? So those that know, we've been discussing off and on about what to do with the new player challenge captains and so on and so forth. Even did a couple of polls, one during the live stream and one we had up for a couple weeks on the Discord. It basically seems to come to the consensus of I guess either no one really cares about them anymore because we've geared them up to a point that they are no longer really new captains, new player because we've unlocked enough stuff even since we started it that they are essentially at the end game. And that took us less than a year. So with the votes and stuff, what we're going to do, I'm going to sort of continue with it, but I'm going to move it over to my free-to-play account, because I am not going to be spending money. It will just be my free-to-play account, and yeah, it'll be as close to a new player coming in with none of the big perks, no lifetime sub, none of that stuff, and we're going to move our our recruits that we were using over into just being full-fledged access to our accounts and stuff like regular captains on our account. I don't know if Nikodas is going to do a free-to-play account. I'm not going to speak for him, but I will continue with... I guess I will partially continue with that. I don't know how big of a focus it will be. I've been doing the events with them.
My intention right now is not to. But if I start streaming with my daughter again, she is on a free-to-play account. So there would have the aspect of me helping a new player, which she is interested in doing. We just have to find time with her busy schedule that we can make it happen. So we'll see.
So, yeah. That's what we're doing moving forward. So,
all right. So this week in STO, we only have one thing to talk about. They have not made the big announcement that everybody's kind of holding their breath for. There's a red alert that starts January 10th, which is tomorrow, and goes for 2 weeks till January 24th. 10 completions out of the 14 will get you an ultimate tech upgrade, a specialization point, and an experimental ship upgrade. And it should be noted that you have to be level 50 or higher to participate in this event.
And it's the standard red alerts: Borg, Alachi, Tzenkethi, which still has a fail. If it's a red alert, it's gonna be back. They still put... I find it funny, they still put in the note that, the Tzenkethi front still has a fail condition. If you fail, you will not get your daily credit. And then at some point, we plan on removing the fail condition.
And it's been saying that for years at this point.
It's probably been close to 2 years, would be my guess. It's fine. I love that they are... It's not a high priority, obviously, but it's still likely on their to-do list.
Yet clearly they have other things that are more concerning, which is completely understandable in this case. The other announcement, which we will probably get maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday, but sometime relatively soon, is the anniversary event, which I'm guessing will start on the 24th.
I
I don't know what
think
day of the week
it
that
might be
is.
another week before we get the
Fourth.
information. I'm gonna guess they're gonna probably wait. Like, this is a 2-week red alert. They're probably gonna hold off. They might show the very basics of the ship that's coming soon. I don't know how soon. But I would guess, honestly, we're gonna have a week of quiet before they, yeah.
We'll see. I'm very curious about what ship they're going to release, what blending we're going to get from the Alliance this time. So hopefully something with the Dominion. I would really get a kick out of that. But we'll see. We'll see what we get.
A Dominion Romulan bug ship.
Maybe. I mean, that could certainly be a thing. We'll see. We have not, I thought about this last night. We have not gotten any Alliance ships that use a singularity core. So far, they have all used warp cores.
Yeah. I was hoping that whenever they're like, oh, it's going to be a hybrid with Romulan, that they were going to drop in the option to have a singularity core. But they didn't do that. That would have been on the Raider.
Yeah, the Tamir Raider. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe they will give us one that actually uses a singularity core. Who knows? Our primary target for this week is to visit the various adventure zones in the game. Now, there is one that we cannot get to, and that's, I've got it listed down as an honorable, hiccups. An honorable mention, and that's Q's Winter Wonderland, which is the event that just ended. Let me get on tongue-tied. We can't go there. We just can't get there. There's no way to visit there. But we can visit all of the others, and we're going to start with Risa. So here we go.
Technically. There's another one.
Did I miss one?
Andoria?
I've got Andoria down below under the social zones.
Oh.
So here in the Risa system, it gives us the option to go to the Classic Beach or the Summer Resort. Which one do you want to take, Grebog?
I'll go to Classic Beach.
Okay, I'll do the Summer. Now, if you guys did the Summer event, this is mine, where I'm going, is going to be that location. Although there's not going to be anything going on. But if you wanted to come here and just kind of hang out with your floater or your boogie board, you could do that. Oh, they still have the Nadarian Defender here too.
Yeah, I don't know that they changed that until they're ready to announce what the new ship is.
That's fair.
Can I use a floater here?
You can.
I did not think about that, and so I don't think I have a floater on this guy.
But here, this is the island. So during the summer event, you'll come here, and yeah, it's different from the beach that Grebog's at, though.
Way different. I've kind of left my screen primary and yours secondary just for the fact that, well, this one's the one that they normally won't see.
You're fine.
Because the other one, everyone sees all the time.
And I have a floater, and the floater does work here.
Oh,
it only did for a couple seconds. Then it kicked me off. Okay, that's interesting. I guess it does not work here, except for a couple seconds. But this was the original Ryzen area that when they first put Risa in, you could come down here. And then they added the actual adventure zone later. But yeah, if you just want to come here and hang out and maybe do some role play or whatever other weird stuff people do, yeah, there you go. Outside of the summer event, there's really not much to do here. I am ready to beam up. Are you coming with me?
I was trying to get up to the top of this cliff so that way I could view either side of the island.
There you go.
Because I'm Running. But yeah, there's buildings up on top of that other hill there. You can see. I think there's probably going to be some up this way. There's a bridge across to that other island. It looks like there's probably a couple buildings over there. You know, there's huts, buildings, all kinds of stuff out here. Just a interesting place to go. That's a little different than even the regular Risa. So, and cliffs. I'm impressed with how much, like, they don't do big zones for like quests and stuff like that, but then yet they have these places, and it makes me kind of wish there was some kind of ground mount.
Oh, there you go. That would be kind of fun. Get a little motorcycle or something going on.
Where am I heading to next?
I have the next one I have would be Nimbus, which we can shortcut to.
No one seems to bat an eye about our little planet until the Orions
I shared the mission with you. And then New Romulus after this one. Now, New Romulus is going to be an interesting one. Actually, Nimbus is not bad either. Wow, I just saw you disappear. I suppose if you wanted to split up, I mean, I guess we don't have to go to the same one. Hadn't really thought about that. Oh, and I forgot one. It's the whole reason I wanted to be on a Romulan, and I forgot to put it down. Oh, I have it under a social zone. All right. I see what I did there.
Romulan flotilla?
Yep. Because it is a social zone, so that makes sense. For some reason, I was thinking I put it under New Romulus, but I probably moved it after I started writing stuff down. Leave it to me. Okay, so this
map is big.
This map is freaking huge. You are absolutely correct. And there's a lot to do here that you can. There are daily quests, and there's a dancing competition, and all of this stuff can be done without collecting any missions. There is a series of missions here for Romulans. It's actually within your storyline. It's right here under Wasteland. You come here, you do these missions. As Klingon Klingon Federation or Dominion, it is under your hidden episodes, which is under the available tab. Why they took it, again, that's something that they changed, and I don't know why they changed it. Your dance competition's right here, this guy. And if you complete that, I think it's for a week straight, you learn a new dance.
Yes. I went outside to the chasm.
You're good.
The Gorn chasm. So sometimes you're asked to go kill Gorn. This is the area I would highly recommend you go to. They respawn fairly quick, and they are all over the place. Now you can go up to the giant space wreck that is up that hill on the far side, and it too has Gorn, but there are a mix of other creatures, and entities. So they're not all Gorn. They're not all. There's some humans mixed in. Yeah.
There are rare spawns up there, so if you have the endeavor to kill a rare spawn, you can go up to that ship, and the ramp is right here. Now I'm not gonna take us up there, but I'll show you where the ramp is. Oh, and if you get the endeavor to kill, I forget what they're called, but to kill some
doing arthropods.
There you go. These count. All of these little scorpions count. So you can
some of them not so little,
right? But right here, you see there's a person here already, but usually there's enemies up this ramp, and then you get up there and you turn to the right, and there's more enemies and rare spawns and all kinds of stuff, slave pins and all kinds of stuff up there. So
There are
and then
also, if you do the quests, there is, every time you go to a section of the map, there are transporters. Like, there is a transporter up there. There's a transporter that's down in the kind of old ancient structure place over that way. There's a transporter in the Gorn Chasm once you get to a certain point. It's all part of that Lost Mission series.
yeah. Wasteland, yeah. Let's see, New Romulus.
Though if you're Romulan, it's not part of a Lost Mission series. It is still part of your main story arc.
Why do I have this weird?
What?
Can you transwarp over to New Romulus?
Probably not.
Okay.
You probably can because you are cool.
I have the mission for some reason. I have the staging area mission in my in my quest log. I don't know why. That seems a little weird to me.
Well, here,
I mean, I know.
I'll make you main screen, and then I'll just fly my happy little butt over that way.
You want to head over towards, let's see, what would be next?
Dyson?
Nukara? You want to head over to Nukara?
Sure.
Isn't that still in this quadrant?
It is. I will head to Nukara. It is a long road there. It's a long road from here to there.
I don't know what to say. Yes, I know my singing is terrible. And I'm still getting the hiccups. I might have to go find a drink here in a minute. I don't think the lotion I have on my desk is going to help.
You?
Right? Oh, good. It didn't make me do the cutscene.
It probably would have made me do the cutscene.
I was afraid that it would make me do it, but it did not. Okay, so there are, again, missions here, and I think everybody has this one. It's listed as New Romulus. You have to find the planet, and then you have to make sure it's livable, and yeah, craziness. But there's all kinds of stuff that you can do here. There's things you can collect and turn in. I don't want to repel the insects. I want to talk to people.
Also, the embassy there.
The embassy is here, and you can beam down to the embassy, or you can enter the embassy through the giant doorway that's over there, and there's bugs. I'm not sure what's going on here. That's kind of weird. They're killing my assistant here. Well, my lightning didn't hurt him, that's for sure. Anyway, I'll come do this later. I'm not going to bore everybody with trying to scan stuff and whatnot. Oh, look, a medical report. See, that's one of those things you can collect. It actually goes to your inventory, and then you have to find the guy to turn it into. I am not going to do that right now. But there's all kinds of stuff that you can do here, and the map, again, is actually pretty sizable. There's also a teleporter, and as you go to all of these yellow dots on the map, there is a teleporter there. And then you can go to the main teleport pad, which is right up here, and you can beam to those various areas and do your dailies and your weeklies and collect stuff. Most of it gets you Romulan marks. So if you're working on your Romulan reputation, this is a way that you can get the marks instead of running the TFOs. Which I need Romulan marks on this character. I only have 185. So I should probably come here and do some stuff. All right, are you over? Maybe, not really.
I am over on the other side. I mean, yeah, I'm at Nukara.
Okay.
So when you beam down, here, I guess now I'm the main screen. Ha!
Woohoo!
So
I will be right back. I'm gonna go find a drink.
when you fly into system, you end up having to beam down. There's nothing you do in space. When you get down, whether you're KDF or Federation, you will beam down to your faction's base camp. There is it is different locations technically. I don't know if I can see technically oh yeah, I could. It's over here on the north side is where the Klingon base camp is, with that yellow circle and the upside down triangle. When you're here, apparently maybe I put a marker there. I don't know. When you are here, you can talk to the base camp commander. They will give you quests, missions to do while you're running around. They can be from easy, medium, and hard. Though it doesn't look like the hard ones are getting marked as hard. But so essentially, the higher difficulty means the harder the bosses are enemies. And there are two sections to this. You have the just run down, and you have the whole area down here that is Tholians all over the place. You are fighting Tholians everywhere here. This is a basically Tholian world. And as you can see, there are just Tholians all over the little red marks. The first area, when you get down here, you can teleport to the forward camp Alpha. And they color-coded this also to kind of tell you whether you're going into easy, medium, or hard difficulty area. And so, like, if I teleport here, it'll put me down into the easier area. And there's just Tholians running around. When you're down here, you can beam back up to the base camp, or you can go to one of the other locations. Easy peasy. But, it is... The harder the location depends on how many enemies, how fast they respawn, and how much hit points, and, the harder it is to fight them. Now, you can also go inside. It also has... So this person kind of gives you an idea of what's going on. So you can go inside, explore cave system. And it, too, has a whole system of... You have more missions in here, easy, medium, and hard. And depending upon how far in you go, depends on how difficult it gets. And they also, it looks like they put, this is for the Klingon side when they come in. ADF will come in right here. But you can explore the caves, and there is all kinds of places that you can go in here. Further down you go, the harder it gets. Easy mode is up, like, that's why this is green up here. When you get down this point, there is now... You can go here, and then this will take you to one area. Yeah. So you can go down, interior scorched, yeah. So I find it interesting. Sphere of influence, okay. I guess you're back. But yeah, you can take the elevator level 2. They color coded again. Level 2, medium difficulty, yellow. Level 3 is hard. The first floor is easy. Yeah. Most people just run around outside the caves, and I use this adventure zone a lot for doing a lot of the various... When it tells me to go and kill or do X amount of ground damage, like whether it be phaser, tetryon, whatever, ground, I come to Nukara because there is a healthy number of enemies, and you can just go, you can go in the cave, you can go down below, either option, and they respawn fast enough you can get that endeavor knocked out fairly quick.
There's also a specific endeavor for defeating Tholians on the ground.
Yeah, if you need to go get Tholians, this is a good place to go. If you need to get Tholian captains, you would technically need to go into the hard area, though you would likely get your butt kicked unless you have a group with you. As you can tell, you don't get any bridge officers when you're down here. You are solo. So it's only you and whoever you bring with you, friend-wise. So, yeah.
Always better with a buddy. I actually have that endeavor right now. I'm not going to get it done tonight. Okay, so next on the list was the Solanae Dyson sphere. That's why I shared that mission with you, because it'll let you transwarp out here. And the first zone, and all of these are considered adventure zones, not social zones, which, if you ask me, is a little weird. But the first one is right here, where you load in, and the Allied Zone. That's what this is called. So right now there's an ion stream event going on. So you go over here to where the green is, and you'll have to move stuff around. There's also individual quests that are reset on dailies. Sorry, I'm getting all sorts of tongue-tied. You can sometimes see those, though. There's the Ion Storm event. If you fly around, you'll sometimes see other ships, and they'll have an icon over them, and if you communicate with the ship, they'll give you a mission. But this all rewards Dyson's sphere marks. So it's another way to get marks if you need them. If you fly over there to this structure and go down below, it'll take you to the command center. That is a social zone. We're not going to show that off right now.
Though there is a thing to note, you can quickly use some fast travel buttons that they put in right from the gate to get to certain places.
Yep. Is the contested zone one of those? Or is it just the space and ground battle zone?
Space battle zone, and ground battle zone. Though there is a trick to get to the contested zone.
Go to the space zone.
Go to the ground and then beam up.
Oh, there you go. Okay. You want to do ground or space?
Well, I mean, I'm going to go to the ground no matter what, so...
Okay, then I will cancel, and I'll go to the space battle zone. That way we can, 2 birds, 1 stone.
Sure.
2 birds, 1 transport.
There are people that will farm, and farm and farm and work on the Dyson sphere ground battle zones, because once these all get triggered to blue, they spawn a big boss. They spawn a big boss, a big a T-Rex that you have to fight, and it is a very interesting fight, but you get dilithium for it. And there are people that are really good. They have boosted their speeds up because must run fast. And I would recommend, if you're going to do this stuff, to try to get as fast as you can go. And you can then tag, if you're good, you can tag all 3 of the T-Rexes before they all get annihilated. However, I will not... that is a very big challenge, and being able to do that is not as easy as it sounds. Like, I could say that, yeah, you can tag all 3 T-Rexes, but actually doing it, good luck. I've never been able to tag more than 1, but I also have not built for speed.
They go down pretty quick.
Yeah. Normally, what I think a lot of them do is tag in on one of the T-Rexes and then start running before it's even down, and then, yeah, take the transport from one section to another, get to the other, and keep going. But here, like, there's just various objectives. I think we covered some of this. Take control of the sections. Once they're all controlled, the one white section that shows nothing turns into the T-Rex spot. So
the space battle zone is very much the same. On the map, you see blue and red. The goal is to turn everything blue. There's various objectives. This one I am by, you just kind of, it's like capture and hold. You just have to go down there and stay in the area and blow up any enemy ships until the timer runs down. There's another one where you have to move a pillar. And anyway, when it's all blue, you get 3 planet killers that show up, and you'll have to weaken it, and then it'll put an invincible shield up. You'll have to find a way to break the invincible shield by using similar methods to you do to capture zones, and then you'll defeat it and move on. Once all 3 are defeated, you win the zone, and a fleet of Voth will come in. You'll fight them off, and then you're back to this again. And that's the rotation. You can beam up and show the contested zone now.
All right, the contested zone. So you'll see right now there's various circles. They're currently all blue on the map. They will turn red. They continually fluctuate back and forth. This is a non-stop battle zone, and if you need to kill Voth, this is sometimes the place to go. If you're in I guess one of the instances that has a lot of people, you may have a hard time getting enough Voth kills. However, that can be, you switch to an instance that there's hardly anyone. But yeah, you are fighting Voth the entire time while you're in here. And this is fire base. I saw something floating. I'm like, oh, maybe it's some Voth. But once you turn everything back to blue, every so often a Voth fleet will come in on one side with some of their big ships, I think Citadel ships, and you have to basically fight them off. Well, I guess you don't have to, but yeah, if you need some Voth kills, it's definitely the place to come and play.
Hi, Darth. Good to see you. We have a Darth Dragon saying hi.
How are you doing, Darth? But yeah, so you can control the towers. It's a capture and control type setup, and you just have to be close to it to gain control. And it looks like there are some Voth coming in over here. I'm gonna go ahead this way, blow them up.
Now, for some reason, the contested zone does seem to be farmed pretty regularly. So if you're doing the mission, the breadcrumb that takes you there, or if you're trying to defeat Voth ships there for an endeavor or whatever, sometimes it can be a little challenging because there are people that hang out in that zone and they tend to kill things fairly quickly.
Yeah, like I just annihilated that Voth group with like no time. So if you are needing Voth kills, I'm sorry, anyone out there. But yeah, that's why I was saying, check your instance. If you're in a high pop instance and there's, say, only like one person in another instance, oh, hey, here comes the Dreadnought.
There you go.
But yeah, if you're in a high pop instance, then it's going to be a challenge getting the Voth kills. Just switch your instance, try another one.
I'll be honest, I'm not sure why people hang out there and do that. I don't know if there's good dilithium rewards for capturing the area. I'm not sure, but a lot of people seem to hang out there.
I don't know, but there's one of the Dreadnoughts is already getting annihilated. Though I'm about to annihilate another one.
The next one on our list is Kobali Prime. Are you ready for me to do Kobali?
Sure, go for it.
Since I'm here. So you get to Kobali in the Delta Quadrant, which you have to go get there through the Dyson sphere that we were just in. If you've been here once already, if you've done the missions that bring you here, then being in the Beta Quadrant outside of the Dyson sphere will give you the option to just go to the Delta Quadrant, and then you just set your course for Kobali. And there's a lot of missions here that are replayable, and again, you'll get reputation marks for this. The general here will give you most of them. You need to complete, if you're on a recruit character, you need to complete these at least once to get credit for the Delta arc, which I am on a recruit, but I believe she has done all that. Yeah, she's done with it. But this is required for that, so it's important to know where Kobali is. Again, this is a fairly sizable ground map, and there's a lot to do. And then there's not only the missions, but there's rotating zones that are active. Like you can see right here, there's an open mission for recovery and an open mission for disarming situation. So you can do all that stuff, and it'll rotate around the map, and different things will pop up, and you'll get marks for it.
Don't mind the
And
giant dreadnought ship that I have assimilated.
you can come talk to Harry Kim too. He hangs out here.
Defera.
Next is Defera, so that's actually really far away from where I'm at.
I'm going to transwarp there.
And there's two at Defera. There's the Adventure Zone, and then there's the Borg Battle Zone.
Yes, so if you're needing Borg kills, we're going to go to the Invasion Zone. Borg kills is easily, if you need ground Borg kills, you just come to the Invasion Zone. There's a special spot here. It also is broken up into sections. You can kind of look at the map here at this console. In the center, there is clearly a big Borg colony planet thing. Yeah. But you can also come to the transporter pad. It will transport you to the city, which may have been a bad decision. Because the city's a lot harder than it is. Actually, oh, this isn't a bad spot. So you have the city area here. There's people running around. You have this lower section that has a bunch of Borg running around. And then if you go into... So once the areas start looking more and more heavily Borgified, which is like back through that way, you will start running into harder and harder Borg. Especially like running in underneath the big ship itself, the Borg ship. There is also a power plant section, which is way more difficult as well. So, yeah. A great place to come and kill Borg if you need to kill Borg. And there's like there's a transporter that will take you to the power plant. There's a transporter that'll take you, well, to that section of the city. They did not make them all one transporter, though you can kind of see here, like here's the power plant one. They put flags up to kind of tell you where they are, though there's so much brightness that this one's hard to read. It looks like satellite.
If you are going to go to the Borg invasion zone, I highly recommend bringing a physical or kinetic damage weapon.
Yes. So right around the city is the lower difficulty. The temple and the power plant are much harder. So do note that. And when you are here, you can go back to Defera Sector Block, Defera System, or the Visitor Center, which the Visitor Center is where you end up when you beam down to the planet itself, with not the battle zone.
That's where I'm at. I'm over here now. So there are episodes that will bring you here, and you'll have tasks to complete and whatnot. But if you just beam down here on your own or come from the invasion zone, it's really just a social area. At one point in time, it was called an adventure zone, but I don't think there's ever actually been anything to do here. I think it's just a social zone. But you can, come, you can learn about the Defera, and there's a Ferengi right here that will sell you snow tubers, which will let you breed a special type of
Tribble.
Yeah, thank you. Lost my train of thought for a
cryo
second.
tribble, which gives you, I believe, like frost resistance. So if you're going to fight a bunch of Breen, yeah.
Which originally is the story here, the Breen. So yeah, you can get frost resistance and do the thing. All right, so we are close to our last two here. They are both in the Alpha Quadrant. The Tzenkethi Battlezone and the Badlands Battlezone.
Did you put any of the Gamma? Oh, I guess the Gamma's all.
It's all one, and I do have it down here. We'll have to take the wormhole for that. And then I guess this took us long enough. I wasn't sure if it would or not, but this took us long enough. We'll have to do the social zones and the war zones in a different episode. We is running out of time, but we can finish up our battle zones here.
I'm sorry, I'm a talkative one.
Not your fault. Do you want the Gonkra, the one farther away, or do you want the Badlands?
I can go to the farther away.
All right.
I was like, I can't warp there right now. So I do have a warp for it.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a cheat to get there. I don't think there's an episode.
I just know I might have the faster of the two ships.
Probably. Oh yeah, because you're using your science build, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely faster than me.
That's why I was like, when you told me to go to Nukara, I'm like going, well, this could take a while. It didn't take that long at all. I went from Nimbus all the way to Nukara. You weren't even halfway done.
Well, I'll describe my area first. This is similar to the Undine Battlezone, where you're going to have areas on the map. Oh, I've apparently never been here before on this character. I'm getting the breadcrumb. I'm going to skip that. Okay, so I'll cloak and fly out in here. Okay, so on the map, you're going to have red circles and sometimes blue circles. They are all red right now. The goal is to capture all three of them. And you do this in a variety of ways. Once again, I'll fly over here to one of them. And this will get you, which marks is this? I think it's Terran marks. Yes, this would be Terran marks. Okay, so there's a station over here. And you're going to activate these weapons, and they're going to fire at the station, which will destroy the shield surrounding it, and then you can capture it. And that's what you're looking to do, is capture all these zones. It's actually very straightforward, pretty easy, but if you need to, you need mirror universe marks or Terran marks, or you need to destroy Terran ships due to, an endeavor you have, this is the place to do it. It's actually kind of fun too. I really don't mind hanging out here. There's a couple players here that are taking these guys out pretty quick. But all three areas are roughly the same. And then when you capture all of them, you'll have a boss fight just like the other adventure zones or battle zones.
I mean, one might say those other players are tearing it up.
That was terrible. That was worthy of Mementh.
I've been practicing.
He would be so proud.
I guess that's something I didn't talk about in my weekly thing. I started my raids. After we wipe, I do a dad joke.
I'm reading a group of
Oh, really?
If we wipe, I do a dad joke. This is not where I'm supposed to be.
Uh-oh, did you go to the wrong place?
I went to the place on the map, and yeah. It took me to I have a mission here.
What am I targeting? Oh, the station itself. Okay. I need to get turned around.
Maybe it's the mission to start the battle.
What you're doing? Are you trying to start a battle?
Oh, Tzenkethi Battlezone. Not the bat. I went to the Nebula, not the battle zone.
Oh, that's actually really easy to do.
And there you go, everyone. You know, it's the Gonkra 2 system, not the Nebula. Yeah.
I'm gonna head over towards the Gamma Quadrant while you go into the Gonkra system there.
Command has identified 3 enemy operations within.
All right, when you come into here, let me make me big screen. When you come into this zone, yeah, he starts talking to you, starts telling you how to do stuff. Now, if you want to know how some of this works, more detail than what I'm gonna say, you can go through. There's a briefing on the 3 different types of setups here, and yes, there are only 3 different setups, but they are replicated over and over and over again. There is like 2 of the tug of wars. There's, but here you are fighting a Tzenkethi. So if you need to go kill a bunch of Tzenkethi, this is also a good place to come. But if you look, it's another one of the control and capture points type maps, and it looks like that we have a point in front of us that is about to be retaken. There is a boss. If you can take all of them and hold them for just a little bit, it will unlock a boss.
Fight off the incoming Tzenkethi ships to keep control of the area.
Basically, the boss is when you're not in a section, like I'm in a battle zone ally control, then it also tells you, I guess when you aren't, it doesn't matter. Hack Tarak and percentage there. Once that is basically who I would be going up against once we get full control of the zone. But it's basically come in here and blow up a bunch of Tzenkethi. There's various objectives. This is basically, I think, called King of the Hill. And, yeah, King of the Hill. And basically, you're staying within the sphere, holding control of this node. And once it turns blue, it means you have more people in it than they do. And you have control. The tug of the war is there are asteroids. You have to bounce the Tzenkethi are trying to launch them at places, and so you need to basically grab them and shove them the other direction. It is where you see here. Let me go towards Alpha over here. It's not that far. It's where you see like that big orange circle, and then there's also that cone on the other end. Basically, you do not want it to get to the orange circle, and you want to take it to the cone. You don't have to hit it with tractor beams or anything. You just have to be near it, and it will move. The other one,
it actually will show tractor beams coming off of your ship, or repulsor beams.
Yes. I have noticed a weird bug when you are flying in this section. The example, like right now, I am below the ring, the ring around the planet, and they have it set so anything below it is harder to see than when you're above it, you can't see much that's below it, but when you're below it, you can't see as much of the stuff above it. So, and
but
then
you can shoot them.
You can shoot through it. Don't worry about that part. It just means you might not see them right away. And this other is the final stage, or the final mini game out here of control. It's sort of like King of the Hill in a sense. You have to basically just destroy all the Tzenkethi that come in. Once you do, on the map you should see, or maybe it's not on the map. Basically, it's this sphere. There is always going to be this orange sphere with a ship locked up inside of it. And that is the boss waiting for you to basically take enough control of all of the stuff around for it to come out and fight. That's Gonkra.
Yep. And I am over here in our last adventure zone. This is the Gamma Quadrant adventure zone. You basically come through the wormhole into the Gamma Quadrant itself. Now there are missions that will bring you here, and there's a couple solar systems and whatnot that you'll visit when you're doing the Gamma Quadrant arc or when you're playing as a Jem'Hadar. But outside of that, this whole area becomes an adventure zone. And as soon as you get in here, you'll see a little button here on the bottom right of your screen that will have you enter one of the various battle zones. Usually I think there's 3 active at a time, and each one's slightly different. And then when you've completed enough of them, you'll get what's going on right now, which is the final assault. And you'll come in here, it's right here, it'll tell you final assault phase. You've got a timer. Basically, there are Herc command ships that are trying to attack the Founder's homeworld, and you're trying to stop them from getting there. There is no progress on this bar at all. So apparently, some people were here, they played the individual missions, they completed them, they triggered the final assault, and then all vanished. So, yeah, that's a thing. I'm going to switch instances, though, real quick. I'm in 5.
From my understanding, that one is one of the least favorites for people to run and do. And I'm not exactly sure why, but yeah. Every time I've gone there, it's been a struggle to get a completion in there.
So apparently all instances are triggered at the same time, because they're all in their final assault. So this is a little different. Instead of just having a zone that you go to, this actually queues you up, and then you have to accept the queue. It's almost like a mini TFO.
And if you're not even the system, as you saw, I also got the accepted queue for that.
Oh, good. It did give it to you. I wasn't sure if it would do that. So it's going to pull you in here with me. That's interesting. All right, well, let's play this out. Let's see what happens here.
Don't let them destroy the planet.
Bad news.
Well,
Do what you can to prevent.
I don't think we're alone. We're in
I see at least 2 other players.
Cheers. The Tzenkethi ship. That's oddly appropriate. Here, let's just see what happens.
What's the worst that's going to happen?
Oh, there's 5. There's 5 of us now. Okay, so I guess we blow up the asteroids. I've never actually done this before.
It's been a while.
Wow. Oh, okay. So the asteroids are what? A distraction for them?
Sure. I honestly am not sure.
I'm not either. This is all new. Somebody's gathering them up for us, though.
So if you notice, we have seeker bombs. I noticed that's on my toolbar. I don't normally have such a thing.
Oh, yep, I see that. Okay. I'm really not sure what's going on here.
The goal is to destroy the mothership.
Okay, is that what the seeker bombs are for?
I believe so.
Okay, yeah, I remember this. There's one of the little missions that you have to do that too. You have to break the shell. Okay, so the asteroids give you the seeker mission, or the seeker bombs, which you use to break the shell around the mothership. And then hopefully you can blow up the mothership.
That's how that works. See, I knew we'd figured it out if we were here long enough.
Warning, ship is under attack.
Mothership. There we go. Launch. And the closer you are to the mothership, the seekers can be destroyed. Ooh, that hurt. Yep. That was dumb. I hit the wrong button. It's almost done, though. We've almost got the mothership down.
We did it.
There we
The
go.
invasion is over.
And for doing this, you can get a corpus fragment, or you can just take gamma marks. It's all up to what you want.
They'll be back.
The choice is yours. Huh, we actually won. What do you know?
Well, I mean, it's not hard, especially when you have a few people in here doing it.
And then the goal would be to run that over and over and over again until you guys win or the timer runs down, which there's only 90 seconds left. So, and that's it for the adventure zones. Now, there is a series of social zones that I was going to visit, and then there's also war zones, which are basically PvP areas for ground and space. But we will have to save those for another show. So, Grebog, since
Yes?
I'm actually going to be here next week, what are we doing?
What do I decide?
I don't know. I mean, you don't have to.
Well, here, let's see. Fleet status. We are, as the fleet, almost done with like renewable energy tier 4 for the colony is like what? Well, once this project gets done, we'll be at 244,000 out of the 250, which means we need 6 more projects. If we were to trigger them every day up until the next time we air, that means we will be done before we air it next week. However, because of people being busy, and whatnot, may not be next week. But I can see in 2 weeks, we will probably have the tier 5 renewable energy big project going. And then after that, we can do the tier 5 colony project.
Everything is in cooldown right now.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right. Cheers.
So,
what about our KDF fleet? How's the things going on the KDF side?
KDF side is still, it's got the tier 2. Here, I can switch over quick and show. Might as well show it because it's easy enough. I hop onto my, I guess, fleet director of that side.
Yeah, there you go. Director's a good title. General. Whatever. General.
General Kenobi. Oh wait, wrong universe. So dilithium mine is still, we need some more dilithium, some more common duty officers for the upgrading the dilithium mine. It is tier 2 is done for the trade minus the big project. Tier 2, like tier 3. Well, I guess tier 3, yeah, the big project for tier 3 for the trade is what's working on. We're close to having the tier 3 big project for the development also ready. Not far off. What? 6 more projects there. And then we have just the big projects for the dilithium mine. The starbase, we have the tier 2 starbase upgrade currently taking funds. I've been holding off adding more projects. You notice like there's still a couple slots where I could queue up some projects to go. Once Starbase Tier 2 is done, I will probably start filling them back up. I just didn't want to overload everybody with stuff, things. A lot of resources being requested there, so.
There is indeed.
But, yeah. So we're closing in on Starbase Tier 2. We're closing in on having the dilithium mine 100% done. It is it is going to be a good year for both fleets, I think.
We're gonna have to work on some stuff, but yeah, things are looking good.
Next week, I mean, what have we not done? I mean, if
Well,
people
we
have
could
suggestions,
continue. Well, yeah, we always take suggestions. Or I wanted to bring this up. We've been doing a segment that I am finding very, very fun called Enter the Workshop, where we help somebody build their ship or improve the build on their ship. So if anybody wants to take advantage of that and be on the show with us and ask questions as we build you whatever kind of ship you want to build. And what I mean by that is, obviously we can't physically build you a ship, but we can help you pick what equipment, what officers, what consoles, all that stuff. We can help you get that stuff if you need it and put it on your ship and help you just improve the way your ship flies or fights or survives or whatever it is you're trying to do.
and because we know everyone has a different budget and different amounts of stuff accessible to them, we normally get with you, find out what you already have, so that way we can try to build with what you have accessible, and go from there. Because, yeah, you can. There are some great build videos on YouTube by a lot of the other good content creators, and they tend to build towards optimal, which is great, and it's a great goal to have. Though some of them also do some of the
Budget builds.
Yeah, budget builds. So I guess basically we're more gearing this towards your budget build. Whatever your budget allowed you to have is what we're going to build it for.
Plus, it's just fun. I think it's fun to give you guys the opportunity to ask why. To be on there and be like, why do I want that bridge officer? Or why do I want that trait? Or why do I want my bridge officer to have that trait? So
I didn't want to use phasers. Why are you giving me a console or tell me to use a console that has plus phaser damage?
Yes, because there's one that's good for any build, even though it's a phaser set.
Yeah.
But if you guys are interested in that, you can contact us in game. You can send us a message through our Discord or Twitch, or just go to fleetactionreport.com and find all this stuff on our website. Just let us know and we'll get you involved and it'll be fun. But for next week, I don't know. Do you want to continue the segment that we have? Like, just go to the social zones and the war zones and go ahead and knock that out?
Sure. I mean, we can finish this up next week then.
Okay, so we'll do a part 2 of Adventure in the Adventure Zones. Tune in next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. I'm sorry. I'm getting slap happy.
We're not bats, but okay.
Yeah, we don't have any bat races yet. That's a good point.
So,
no Shadra fan in this universe.
Didn't they show? I thought I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking Star Wars stuff. I swear that in the background there was like almost a bat-eared type creature in some background shots. But I mean, I could be also thinking of, Star Wars stuff, because yeah.
Wrong universe.
I mean, there are so many times they show these species in the background without clarification or information, and so I easily get them, mixed up from one, because it's a background thing. It's yeah.
Well, aren't the Remans? I mean, the Remans kind of look like vampires, so wouldn't they be bat-like?
I mean, I guess a little bit, but they're supposed to be a break off from the Romulan, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, they're from the same planet. Or the same
from my understanding, so yes, the way I understood Remans is way back ye old times ago. You eventually had the Romulan, the break off from the Vulcans, and that then decided to go with the name Romulan. Well, they eventually split too, but that's because they needed a mining or a subclass and that's they all of the slaves became the Remans. They saw no sunlight. They saw, yeah, and they'd been down there for so long. Think of like how like in I don't know if you remember the time traveler story, H.G.
Yeah.
Wells, how you had the surface humans and then you had like the Morlocks.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I remember that.
They were also humans that had been down underground for so long that they basically became a separate species. It had diverged, like, you know, and that was my impression what they did with the Romulan Reman. Now, again, I could be wrong, but that was just the way I understood. I'm fine being wrong.
I've never actually studied the Remans, so I don't know. I just in the movie where they were introduced, they look very vampirish to me, almost like Nosferatu.
Yeah,
which
well,
was probably done intentionally.
There's that. They also, like, yeah, it is also why, like, I don't know. Maybe my mind put this story into it because, like, oh, well, if they were the slave race, the mining slave race, or the Romulans, then, you know, it would explain the pale complexion. Also, the fact that they had to adapt to probably a more hazardous environment. And so their bodies altered over time in different ways than the Romulans.
I very well could be just doing a quick research here on the wiki. It says that Remus was tidally locked, and the Remans were basically stuck on the dark side, and that's why their features, you know, they're light sensitive, and their features look so grim and whatnot. I don't know if they're offshoots of the Romulan people or if they're native to Remus and were enslaved by the Romulans, or if there's interbreeding. Like I don't really know where they came from. I don't have an answer for you.
It's hard to say. And maybe they never technically say, and my brain just put this story together. It made sense to me.
I do have work tomorrow, and that comes early, so I'm gonna bail. But next week we will continue this thread, and we may even end up in some PvP. Shudder.
And getting our butts kicked, because going to some of these places, if you're actually going up against real PvPers, which I am not, they will annihilate.
Yeah, I'm not either. If we do that, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
No
right.
ifs, ands, or buts. That'll hurt. I'm gonna regret this.
So yes, next week, social zones, PvP zones. Get our butts kicked. Zones.
It'll be fun. All right. I'll leave you guys like I always do. See you out there.
Live long and prosper.